Hi everyone, it's Ashley and this is my 28-week pregnancy update. This is take number 6, honestly. My son keeps interrupting me, which is exactly why I do this when he's at school. But today I had a midwife's appointment, so I couldn't do it when he was at school. So speaking of this, I want to first say I'm hot, and I find that even if I'm the slightest bit hot, my face is immediately red. I'm used to getting a red face while exercising, you know, breathing heavy and that type of thing, kind of red face. But just being a little bit hot from walking around the house or moving things around the house is just a little bit ridiculous, honestly. And it's been very humid the past few days. Sorry, a bus just went by and now there's like 800 kids on my street and I can't stop looking at them. That was one of the kids on a motorcycle bike thing. Anyway, also, if you can, I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up because I was kind of like having to go like this the other day to see it. But right in the middle of my forehead, I'm noticing like a brown area. And I brought it up to my midwife and she said that that's normal. Apparently, I had heard of the phrase like the mask of pregnancy, but I didn't know what that meant. And she says it can be like brown spots on your face. And also, I brought up to her that I recently have had a hard time wearing earrings. I put earrings in and almost immediately, I mean within 5 minutes, my ears are like they start to feel hot and they starting to turn red. I thought it was maybe because, I mean, I've had my ears pierced since I was a little kid. And so sometimes you just take earrings and just put them in your ears not knowing when's the last time they were cleaned. And never had a problem with it. But, so I thought maybe they needed to be cleaned. So the next time I tried to wear earrings, I put them in peroxide. I put the peroxide on my ears, making sure it was getting into the hole, and it didn't help at all. So right now, if I really want to wear earrings for some like event or something, I'm going to have to maybe buy stainless steel ones, or not stainless steel. What is this, like allergetics silver? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not that disappointed. I don't wear earrings all that much, so it doesn't really bother me. Speaking of jewelry, I bought this today. We're doing a family photo shoot. My son is 5 and we don't have any family pictures together other than like, you know, ones taken from at events or things like that, but we've never had professional pictures taken. So we're supposed to have it done last Friday, and the photographer had to reschedule, so we're doing it the 23rd, which is a Saturday, which is better because my husband's going to have to leave work, and it's going to be early and whatever. So now we're kind of doing it like midday on the 23rd. So I bought this. I was looking for like, it's going to be a navy blue dress I'm wearing. My husband's going to wear kind of like, probably like a blue, like a light blue checker shirt with khakis. I think I'm going to put Finn in these blue plaid shorts I have and a white shirt. I think that'll look cute. Anyway, whatever. I was originally thinking of like a silver chunky type necklace. I'm not going to spend a ton of money on something because I don't wear a lot of like big jewelry like this. So, but then I saw these and I was like, this is something I could wear with other things. So I tried them on today. It looks good, and then I got a compliment on them, and that was that. It was sold. Also, I went, and it's funny, I took a picture later and was like, honey, I found somebody else. But I went and bought a new set of very cheap wedding set rings. My rings are starting to get a little tight. And I can only imagine in the heat of this summer that they will start to get very tight. So this is much bigger than, and it's a square, much bigger than my real engagement ring. But I kind of liked, I liked this band out of the sets that they had, and I can see myself just wearing just the band. It's weird because people, like, you know, you're pregnant and they can see that you're pregnant, but your wedding rings don't fit, so they assume you're not married. But you're like, I'm pregnant, like, things are swelling and changing, and so it's kind of hard to explain. But I don't want to not wear a ring. There's so many times I go out of the house without a ring anyway. But when we're... Anyway, I just wanted to buy them. Yeah. So, 28 weeks. We have not really done a lot for this baby. I feel... And my husband feels the same way. It's still not sunken in that it's real and that we will have another baby. And I'm still plagued with pregnancy after a loss or losses brain. I was doing really good for a month or so. And then the last week, or about a week, my mind has just kind of gone back to something could happen between now and August. And it's just still hard to get excited about the baby. It's still hard to, honestly, just, some people get pregnant and they know they're going to have a baby at X amount of time. And I still don't have that feeling. I don't have that reassurance. I don't have that just confidence to know that things are going to be okay. So we haven't really done anything. We haven't bought many things or gotten my son's things down from the attic or from the basement to see how the condition of bottles or cloth diapers or anything. So that is starting to come. I told my husband, actually last Sunday, if we clean, it's on a Sunday. It's after church. We come home and we'll clean the house. This past Sunday was Mother's Day. My husband was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, honestly, I just want to clean the house. We are not organized people. So the house gets messy, and it gets messy fast, and it stays messy. And I stay at home, but the task is so daunting sometimes that it just stays that way, because if I start to think about tackling something, I just get overwhelmed. So I like when we do them together, when we clean together. I feel like things get done faster, and I have somebody to talk to, and I have somebody to ask, where do we want to put this or that, or is this clean, or what is this, where did it come from, that type of thing. So that's what we did, and I was honestly very happy. Later in the day, we took like a dinner picnic. It was great because we didn't have to wait in the 2-hour line to get food, at a restaurant. But it felt so good to kind of like get our bedroom clean. Sorry if you can hear that bus. Get our bedroom cleaned, like really deep clean out our closet, vacuum everything back in like the walls, and change the sheets and the comforters and wash everything. And so now that room is, our room is clean. Our room has a door like on the wall to the attic. And so if you ever go into the attic, you go through our room. And the attic needs to be organized also. It was really well organized. like a year or two ago. But then we just accumulated more stuff and just started putting it in there. So we kind of need to take everything, not everything out, but like a lot of stuff out, or at least enough stuff so that, you know, we can put all the Christmas stuff over here and all this stuff over there, and easily. So now that our room is clean, we have the space to put all these boxes or whatever's out in our room and lay them out and get them organized and then put them all back in. And that's when we are going to be able to get some of my son's old things down. Because we didn't know what we were having with him either, all of our like very early stuff is gender neutral, which is very good. It's not the right season, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. But our room is going to be air conditioned. We don't have central AC. But our room has its own air conditioner. Our son's room has an air conditioner, and then like the living room, which does like the rest of the house, has an air conditioner. So I'm assuming the baby's not going to be hot, especially if it spends the majority of the day in my room, kind of nursing or sleeping or whatever. So some of the things like little baby dresses, like I don't know what they're called. You know, we wear them for boys too, but like they're like sleepers that just come down and they have like a hole at the bottom, like an elastic hole, so that you can just lift it up and change their diaper and then pull it back down instead of having legs and stuff. Anyway, those type of things should still be fine. They're not like fleece, they're just like little cotton things. I'm assuming, like I was trying to make a list of things that we're going to absolutely need right when the baby's born, and it's kind of hard to think, honestly. But we're going to use a pacifier. With my son, I was so anti-pacifier before we had him, and then we had him, and I was like, he needs a pacifier. I can't listen to him scream, and I can't nurse him all the time to give him what he needs. You know, he wasn't hungry, he wasn't wet, you know, it was just, yeah. And breaking him of the habit was not technically that hard. So, and the benefit it adds to reducing the risk in SIDS definitely was a big factor in that too. So I didn't mind it. And so this baby will have pacifier. We need new pacifiers because Finns are very old. And I don't know. I just feel like things like bottle nipples and pacifiers, unless they're used, like, he just would have his own, like, even if we had kids really close together, like, I would get them their own pacifiers. Because that kind of makes sense to me. Bottles, like, if our children were close together, I probably wouldn't buy new nipples for the bottles, but they're gonna be old. This makes sense in my head.
I accidentally did something.
You're gonna need to wait them. So, that makes sense to me. It doesn't really make sense to my husband. He doesn't think it's necessary, but I plan to breastfeed anyway, so the amount of bottles we need are really not that high. You know, I think with my son we had 4, and they didn't really get used all that often. You know, I said to my husband, like, wipes and diapers. We do cloth diaper, but we didn't start cloth diapering with my son until he was about 3 months old. I see us cloth diapering before that with this one because we already own them. But no, I'm not done yet. Can you stop? This is why I do it when he's at school. Every time he does that, I lose my train of thought. For the very beginning, just you know, until we're a little bit settled, maybe until when Finn's at school, which would be about a month after the baby's born, I see us just using disposable diapers for a little while. What else? He said a crib, and I was like, that's like the last thing we need. We have a pack and play with a bassinet. We have a bassinet. You know, we don't need a crib for a little while. I can't remember if it was like any, like, I was saying like toiletries for the baby. New shampoo, baby type shampoo. My son still uses like No Tears baby shampoo, but something specifically for the baby. It was honestly just so ridiculously hard to think of what you have, what you need for a newborn. It's hard to remember. So, that part. I had my glucose test at 26 weeks. They haven't called me. Oh, they didn't call me. But at my midwife's appointment today, she was like, yeah, it was fine. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't really know where I am on my weight. Their weight was very different than my scale, what mine said today. So I don't know how much I've really gained. And I can't, unless I wrote it down or said it in a video in the beginning, which I didn't look back to see if I had. I can't remember where I started. So I can't even make a guess. Not much like food cravings. I haven't experienced any Braxton Hicks contractions. I don't remember having any with my son, and I feel like I haven't had any with this baby. Like, does that ever happen? Like, people are saying they get Braxton Hicks all the time, and like that was something I meant to ask my midwife this morning, and I forgot. But I see her in 2 weeks. So I'm 28 weeks this week. I'll see her at 30 weeks, and then I'm actually going to see her at 31 and change, like 31 weeks and 1 day, right before we leave for our trip. To have some paperwork signed saying that I can fly, and just for them to kind of, see me right before we leave. And then I'll make an appointment to see them like the next day after we get back, to make sure everything's okay. Today my blood pressure said it was great. I got my Tdap shot for it stands for something, but she said the majority, like the main reason people need it is for the pertussis. Feel like I'm saying that wrong. My husband has to get it because I'm pretty sure when I was pregnant with Finn, he didn't get it. I said to her, I was like, I don't think that it was like a thing when he was born that like people were getting that. And she was like, yeah, it's kind of like the last 2 or 3 years. People are really pushing for it. So he may not have, so he's got to get that. My son doesn't have to get it because he's had it, and he's had it within the last 10 years because obviously he's not even 10 years old. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I talked to my midwife kind of about when I see the midwife next time in 2 weeks, we're going to have a consultation about having a VBAC. And I said, I don't know if I'm a candidate or whatnot, but I still would like to look into birthing classes, but I don't know what I want. And she just suggested to look at the different methods and see what's kind of works for me. I can either take classes, do one-on-one classes, kind of do like a home study course type thing where I basically research it and do it at home. I don't really know where I am. I had an epidural with my son. I don't know if I want it again. I did like it. It was obviously much nicer than the painful contractions. But my water broke with my son, but my contractions never started on their own. So they gave me Pitocin. And I understand that Pitocin can strengthen and exaggerate, I want to say, like, your contractions are going to be more painful. So maybe this next time, hopefully I start labor on my own and don't need any type of Pitocin, or I'm sure there's some type of other medication. But maybe they won't be as painful as they were with my son. I can remember saying, like, she's like, do you want an epidural, the nurse? And I was like, are the contractions going to hurt worse than this? And she was like, yes. And I was like, well, then I might as well go for it if they're going to hurt worse than this. And I don't even remember where I was then. I was definitely, like, I dilated for a while, and then I stopped for a while, and then I quickly dilated up to 10. And my doctor said that can sometimes, you know, after the fact, after they realized that Finn was sunny side up, you know, facing the wrong way, that type of thing can happen. You can stall and then all of a sudden you're quickly dilated, but the baby never gets a chance to come out because of the position. You know, it's weird. Some people can push out their sunny side up kids. I had a friend who had 2 that were like that, and she had no problem having them vaginally, whereas I couldn't. I don't know if it was the position I was in. I don't know if she had an epidural. Maybe she was able to move around. But, so I don't know. I don't know what I want. I haven't honestly thought about it enough to say, yes, I want to use this method, and I do want an epidural, or I don't want an epidural, and I want music, and I don't want music, and I don't know. We're still struggling with what's going to happen with my son when I do go into labor, all of that type of thing. I just envision nobody being in the room with me because my husband has to watch my son the whole time, and my son freaking out because it's not a pleasant thing to see, is it? Even if the person's not screaming out in agony or whatever, you know, my son's going to see me in some painful / compromising positions. I don't know. We'll see. So that was really long-winded. I don't really have anything else to say, I think. I'll probably remember something later. But that's about it. I will talk to you next week when I do one of my gender prediction videos. Bye.